So, evening. How are we?
Good.
So, I thought tonight what I would do. What I thought I'd do tonight is give you poetry, but I'll work around you. Don't worry. What I thought I'd do tonight is give you poetry that has been plagiarized, basically. And we'll see how that goes. So the first one is stolen from my dad. Before I came down, I was saying I was quite nervous about being here, speaking to a big group of people. And I woke up the next morning quite early, and I got up, and he was sat at the table writing. I thought, what's he doing? You know, like he doesn't write. He's very much a talker. He's a great talker, but he talks too much. But he was sat there writing, and I thought, what's he up to? So I asked him, and he said, yeah, project. That's what you want, isn't it? So my father is sat at the table writing, and I'm wondering what he's doing, because he doesn't normally write. He talks. But he said, oh, come over here, I've got something for you. And I said, oh, what are you doing? And he said, right, well, because you're nervous, what I did, I woke up this morning and I had three things in my head. What he said, I had some advice, and he called it the 3 don'ts. I'm going to read that now. It's handwritten, it's from the source. We like that, don't we? So, the 3 don'ts. Number 1, don't be a deer, have no fear. If in doubt, have a bottle of beer. Number 2, don't freeze, just think of a sneeze, and you will cut through the air like a powerful breeze. Number 3, don't be in a race, find your place, weave with passion and plenty of pace. So that's Paul Lynch. So the second poem I have is called Gin dans les restaurants. The title's nicked from T.S. Eliot, who I was very much influenced by from his poem Dans les restaurants. Yeah, I'll give that to you now. Why not? Gin dans les restaurants. Thank you. I fear I'm already too bitter. The mosquitoes never wanted my blood, so I have no use for quinine, you see? Bring me soaked bones back, mud still stuck like fresh plucked carrots from rain-drunk earth. Tailed footman, teeth a titter, how I have kept you waiting. I need hoofed horse with clouded snort, and it must have a strong back. I do not wish to be delayed, nor return. I find the winter pleasant, but the cold makes my cracked bones creak. My temperature causes my shadow to shiver. My liver spots speckle, hands held tea. I may return in the spring. If I do, I shall bring a small lamb or a prize cow. It will be hold the drink for me. But for now, thank you, sir. Dirty ice, bottoms up. The next one I have is called How to Write a Manifesto. When I was in uni, we were doing a lot about the modernists, and a lot of these people wanted kind of a definitive way to write. They said, the old stuff is shit, we need a new way. We need a way to describe the truths that have come about in the past 10, 20 years, which was in the 1920s. So there were things like rail cars, cinema, loads of kind of things that people needed to talk about. Crowds was a big one that Baudelaire went into. But yeah, this is my plagiarist idea on how to write a manifesto from the 1920s. So, how to write a manifesto. Wartime fare of manifestos, unmeasured blasts of chalk and dust. Ask Pound or Lewis, those men know. Marinetti's one we can trust. Unmeasured blasts of chalk and dust. Tell us which well to dip our brains. Marinetti's one to trust. Men weighed by name and picture frames. Tell us which well to dip our brains. Few men write well, but whose will stay? Men weighed by fame and picture frames. Cut, 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 concise will pay. Women write well, but whose will stay? Ask Pound or Lewis, those men know. Cut, 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 concise will pay. Peacetime fair of manifestos. So the next one, the link with plagiarism is I've nicked it from a rap song. This will happen again. But basically, I don't know if anyone knows me. I'm sure a couple of people do because I can see Richie there. Little John and the East Side Boys have a song that says, "To the windows, to the walls, till the sweat drips down my balls. To all these bitches crawl." So, it's not about that. It's something completely different, but then I read it back and it's like, oh fuck, I have to deal with this. If you could get that out of your heads, you could have just put it there, that'd be wonderful. So, it's a poem called Apron Stains. The butcher played with flies on quiet days. Nose hanging, a kidney next to pork chopped cheeks. He rolled their bellies in his fingers. Never washed his hands. Sometimes he put stuff in the meat and sold it, heavier, bagged. Few used the butchers. He fiddled the scales. Summer brought flies. The sun heated the meat. You saw it through the windows of the shop. All the flies sipping the blood like winos. And more flies, wasping thick air. Playing tag. The window. The wall. And then back again. The wall and back. They were suffering flies. No one acknowledged their weight. Only death. Only after he took it from their fat wings. The next one is a poem called The Iceberg Principle. I was very much into Hemingway when I was in uni. Still am, he's a great writer, but I read the first novel of his I read was The Sun Also Rises. I think it was his first novel as well. Some people say it isn't his best. I probably disagree. I think it's very good. I think Brett, the character in it, was one of the best characterized women in it. She's fantastic. He doesn't say too much about her. He just puts her in places, and she's this kind of, she's running about, and I think trying to find herself. Can you hear me in the back? Yeah, wonderful. So, I've also nicked another line from a rap song. It's Andre 3000, and it's a song called She Lives in My Lap. Again, this song was something that I just saw a woman running about town having drinks, not knowing where she was or who she wanted to be with or what was going on. And I think Brett is the same character. So this poem is very much based on, well, it's nicked, you know. It's nicked from the novel The Sun Also Rises. It's written in the style of the Sestina, but yeah, let's go from there. The Iceberg Principle. The fans turn slowly in the restaurant as we drink. On our way to Pamplona to see the bulls run. Brett, glass to lips, sits with a napkin in her lap. The waiter comes. She laughs at his small talk, happy to forget. We drink our drinks swiftly and order more when the bread comes. Tonight is just another night in our life of circles. Brett asks for a pen while Mike smokes. She draws circles on the placemat, then lights up a cigarette herself and starts on her new drink. The fans make shadows on the tablecloth as the sun leaves, as the night comes, and as more drinks arrive, Mike starts asking the same questions. Brett wants to run away. Her face tight, she had almost forgotten. She stands, squeezes between chairs, sits in his lap. She lives in his lap. Sitting there, her eyes move in circles over his face, searching for something. A look he once had, forgot. A look she replaces with champagne and drinks. It is cold now, and her mascara is running. I call the waiter. He comes. Something fast happens, then the drink comes. I feel like the world is bent, and I am tired of running laps. Brett's strap falls from her shoulder. My mind is running after the drink in my head, or the drink is after my mind. Either way, I can feel circles. She asks if I want another drink. I shrug and focus on Mike. I try to remember and forget, but I cannot forget. I think of fresh air and ask them to walk, but only she comes. The air fills my head with the drink. I sway and fall, pulling her into my lap. I tell her a stupid truth. We have come full circle. She laughs, then gets up and runs. I watch the past follow her as she runs. I stand and wonder if, like me, Mike would not forget. We are two overlapping circles, and here she comes, skulking back like a cat, ready to curl up in my lap. We go back, and she orders more drinks. We live inside circles, and things come back to run at us, not allowing us to forget, lapping at our minds like a sealed drink.
Good poem.
So I thought really the end of this should be before time. Some of the people have inspired me. It's a poem called People I Should Read. I read a lot sometimes. At others I do not. I try to read and read and read, but end up dropping off. I've read a little poem Welsh, a little foreign self, a little Fitz and Franz and Fryer, Neats and Lynn, Carver, Celine. If only I procured more spines, I could have got this poem to rhyme. So here's a list, not exhaustive, not in one sense, non-conclusive, mass-reduced, sadly mass-produced. Atwood, Bulgakov, Burroughs, Carter, Galileo, Fielding, William Carlos, Bukowski, James, Lawrence, Miller, Murakami. So, questions? Go ahead.
Thank you. Thanks for that great poem. So, very clever to have a poem about modernist manifestos based in a traditional form. Was that a villanelle? You?
Yeah.
Just have to listen for the rhymes in that.
Yeah.
It's a great idea, that, isn't it?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's the rough energy. It's the disobedience, the modernist manifesto contained in a hyper-traditional stanza arrangement, isn't it? Beautiful idea, that. Thank you.
Did I get the hand up? Oh,
Yes.
okay,
You obviously, you're told that you were involved in
sorry, I've lost it.
Working as a poet.
Yeah.
Can you not hear me?
I can now.
Okay, I won't use it. I just wanted to ask if you're working as a poet, but they said in the introduction that you're also writing a novel.
Yeah.
So, how different do you find it working in prose to poetry? And tell us a little bit about what you prefer about the two things.
Okay. In honesty, I don't think there's a difference. I think I can't really say what happens when you sit down to write a poem, and maybe just because you go, oh, I think this is a poem, it becomes a poem. But I don't think there's too much of a difference when you're writing it. You're just trying to be. I think really you're just trying to be honest, and that's your goal. That should be your goal anyway. I think anything else is you can try to sound clever and you know try to pull a lot of things in. And I guess what I was trying to do when I wrote those poems was draw on other people's intelligence and adeptness and try and you know pass off my own on that. But I don't think there's too much of a difference. I think what you are going to put down will be done, and whatever it turns out to be is a category. And I think we get very hung up on that, but I don't feel there's a tremendous difference. Sorry, there was a second part to the question, and I've lost that.
No, I think you've answered it. I was wondering about how. Okay, tell us how the book's going then.
The book is going all right. It's not coming on quickly, but I'm slowly happy with what's becoming of it. So.
Because I'm writers are really envious of the way poets can like finish something in the morning and then yours just slogging away.
Well, there's that wonderful I think it's Paul Valery quote. A poem is never finished, only abandoned. So I know what you mean. You can go, yeah, that's it, and then that's kind of finished. But I think if I went back to some of these, I'd be crossing lots of things out and just being like, yeah, that's crap. Let's get rid of that. Or change it. Yeah, I think the same is with prose as well. There's always stuff you're going to want to sort out. You know, it doesn't sit well, or you're just not happy with it for whatever reason. It can be a great line, but something's saying like, oh, actually, it's good, but there's just like a tick that you can't get rid of. You might let it go. You might go, okay, let's publish it because that'd be really cool right now, and it'd be wonderful to have that in print and whatever else. But then it's like, but if you really questioned yourself about it, would you keep it? And I think that's what you have to ask yourself. And I think probably half of books, this isn't unfair, but half of books wouldn't make it into print because people wouldn't be happy with what they were publishing. That's really good. I'm going to love that. Anyway, was that the hand? Yeah? Okay.